Oh, look at that. Back in time. Everybody, happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
It's a beautiful day.
In the neighborhood.
Yeah, man. Is there a lot going on or what? You know, it's so crazy. I was up here trying to work on the live, get everything ready, and news is breaking so constantly. There's so many things I learned post uploading my slides that I could have done on, a whole nother, set of slides. But
like news just breaking?
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Just with the stuff going on with Trump and the stuff going on economically and the, stuff going on at the hack. And we'll talk about a lot of that stuff tonight, but it's just crazy to me how much, stuff is changing and how fast it's changing. But first things first, let's get some hellos in. Starla, good evening to you. Is the first one in. She says, go be woman power. Good evening to everyone. The famous American Roots Farm is in the house. Got to spend some time with them today. It was pretty awesome. Skanes Girl, how are you? Farm Ranch Homestead, welcome in. Let me get back down here. The Skanes Girl says she's got a question for me, so we'll see if we find it here in a little bit. Let's see here. One step closer. Good evening to you. Let me see. Skanes Girl says, my dad's old trailer had old schools 715 LT tires. I can get 225s like 150 cheaper than that. Any insight? Well, as long as they'll fit on your rims. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with doing it. I mean, I'm not familiar with a 715 LT tire, so
light truck.
Yeah, light truck. But maybe someone can post in here that knows more than I do.
Like a mechanic.
Yeah, Gypsy, welcome to you. How are you, my friend? Long time no see. One step closer says soil test came back. The land will take a septic. Game on. We look forward to having you, bud. The famous Silver Linings in the house. Good evening to you, my friend. We were just talking about you last night. Jane, good evening to you. RN as well. Carrie Davis, good evening. Now, she says good morning, but for us, it's good evening. Or almost evening, right?
It's evening.
Yeah. Let me see here. What else we got? Karen, how are you? She says, good evening, fellow homesteaders. Busy, productive week. Relaxing tonight. Family coming to visit tomorrow. Music festival tomorrow night. Cool. Life is good. Life is good. We can't forget the greatest name on the internet.
Half Bubble Off Club.
Good evening to you. Mossy Oak Parrot, welcome in. Vicky Pullen, good to see you. My good buddy Mo's in the house. How are you? We talked about you today, too.
Hey, y'all.
Eagle Lover, Texas, good to see you. I hope you're recovering down there. Scott Horn, another really, really good dude. Got to spend some time with him today, too. He's in the house. We're going to talk about the community building a bunch. So we got some pictures of Scott.
Oh, good.
And we got some pictures of his beautiful bride in theory only. Right?
Okay, yes.
Right?
Yes.
Mary Michelle, welcome in. Redneck, how are you, my friend? Life with Mike and Jen are in the house. I'm assuming that's Jen. Jen, how are you?
Good evening.
Yep, good evening, good evening. Let's keep going here. Barbara S., good evening. LJC, I actually talked about you today, too. Bonnie Sign, good evening.
You're just talking about everybody.
I know, right? Harry Kent Hepworth, how are you? He says, great day in this nation. Oops. Oh, look at that. I got busted. The great day in this nation. The assassin's attempt failed. Divine providence. Yeah, we're going to talk about that a little bit tonight, too. Gratitude and grace. Welcome. One more rock. Good to see you. JB, how are you? Gizmo, what's going on? Let me see. I must have missed something because Farm Ranch Homestead says some matchmaking going on. I don't know. Guys are kind of oblivious to this stuff. Hey, Cuddly Bear. Greeting from Topeka. What's up, neighbor? How are you? Okay, we need to meet. You'll have to hook me up sometime.
You might have already.
Well, we might have, right? I'm not familiar with the name, but then again, I'm sure Cuddly Bear is not the exact name of the person we're talking about, right? Anyway. Michael Connolly, good day, good day. Let me see, preparing for a 5-day trip to South Dakota. South Dakota's beautiful country. Who do you got? Yep. You want just...
All okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Just send him a text and say,
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because he called me too. Same person. All right. Anyway. Yep. Super exciting. Lots and lots and lots going on. B's going to send a text here real quick. There you go. All right. Where are we at here? Sorry. Let me see here. I'm freaking amazing. Woke up on this side of the dirt. I have a roof over my head and food in my stomach. Amen. And you know what? You got more than that, Jen. You got a whole bunch of people that think a whole lot of you. And, that's worth a ton. What is going on?
Your phone just started talking?
All by itself.
Wow.
The world is weird. Okay, where are we at? All right, I think we got everybody in there to say hello. All right, well, let's talk about what you got first on your list, Punk.
Well, we made it to the dump.
Yeah, that's a big event around
Well,
here.
we go once a year, maybe twice.
Yeah.
So that's not but we were able to get rid of a whole bunch of
What?
So we were able to get a whole bunch of
Oh my goodness.
Okay. So did you send that to him?
No, I posted it on book club. Anyway, we'll get out of that. I'll get back to him.
Okay.
Yeah, he's awesome. Okay. Anyway, we're getting distracted. Super easy here tonight. Oh my goodness. Okay, Jen says it's the aliens. My phone's been wacky as well. I don't know what's going on. I just don't know what's going on.
Well, there's all kinds of invasions going on, so maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
So we made it to the dump, and we were able to get a whole bunch of stuff out of the pod 4, building stuff, plastics, and this and that, and what else filled that? We got rid of a shower. We got rid of to somebody else, but we got rid of a whole bunch of stuff that was sitting out here for quite a while. But which in turn made me think of that's actually something that we actually still depend upon. We rely. We can burn some trash.
Yes.
And we can recycle some stuff.
Yes.
But we're still dependent upon
trash is something we could get a lot better at. We're not very good at that. How long has it been since the burn barrel's been on? A while. Right.
Yeah.
Hey, Stan Guthrie, welcome. How are you?
Yeah.
Gregory, how are you? Good to see you.
But that kind of made me think about that here we're like, we don't have any this bill, and we don't have any that bill, and we don't have any this bill. And then we're like, we still do take our trash to not all trash. I mean, food scraps go to the animals, and some stuff gets buried and burned, but we do still rely on we still have some stroke. We
still have some stroke over us.
We're being
but here's the thing though, babe. That's called, I consider that to be elective stroke. We can choose whether or not to go to the dump.
Well, you got to do something with it.
I could dig a big hole and bury it.
Bury all the glass and.
I mean, I could. I don't really want to, but
metal. I guess metal you could take.
One step closer says I always feel less stressed when I declutter. Yeah, it's a nice thing, and for us, we don't go that much, and so it builds up on a trailer until, or next to a trailer or whatever, until it comes time, and then we can, kind of take it out of there.
Our barrel was so full of water that when he tried to lift it up with the forks of the skid loader, it
deformed.
It melted around it.
Yeah, it was good though.
We had to pop a hole in it. Duh.
Yeah, Instigator himself, Hippocrates, is in the house, says your internet seems better. It actually is better. We're not done yet. We're still working on it. Can Squatch, good evening to you. Skeens Girl says, how does trash work up there? Dumpsters or landfill? Either. We go to the landfill because having a dumpster sitting here, we don't produce enough trash. I don't think really to justify it. And
it's so much money.
So we just take a big trailer and she said once every other year, but it's more like a couple times a year, and it's 60 or.
Did I say every other year?
Yeah.
I said a couple times a year.
Yeah. So it's about $90 for us to dump that big trailer.
Well, it was this time. It wasn't last time. The price has increased since last.
Yeah. City Greens,
visit.
welcome.
So
So that stuff's pretty cool. You want to talk about that? So real quick, let me tell a story ahead of time. So you guys, this is a really interesting story. So we had a community dinner on Thursday, and it's something we do quarterly. So like we do the Freeman Festivus, which is the event that B and I do, which is in the summer, and the beautiful Wes Wesley, who's in the house Polaroid tonight. She has the summer one. And so we had a big dinner. And so we went there, and I couldn't stay real long. I was there about an hour and a half because I had a really important meeting I wanted to get into. I met on Thursday night with 20 other communities across the United States and across the globe. And one from
There's one in Australia.
No, I went in Australia, Thailand, and down south. Anyway, I don't remember the other country, but all the other 18 were in the United States. And so it was really, really cool for me. I get to listen to what everybody's doing. I get to learn from them, hopefully get to help them, get a little bit better. But anyway, so I'm sitting up here, and you guys know I'm in pod 3, right? We're clear up at the top here. And so I can oversee level 3. I can completely oversee everything. And I'm sitting here in this meeting talking to all these people, and I see out my window over here to this side on the ground, Beat go running by. So she was supposed to be at the dinner. Like, what's she running by? And then Jesse, from Callie and Jesse, see him running by. I'm like, what is going on? And I kind of look out there, and a cow was out. So you can tell the cow story now. So I had to get out of my meeting with all of these people to go chase a cow.
And you actually were still in a dress clothes.
I was still in.
I was going to say a suit, but not technically a suit.
Right.
It was slacks and a long sleeve button-up shirt.
Yeah.
So I was already coming home from the dinner, and I pulled into the driveway and got halfway down the driveway, and Moo, our black mama, was out just eating grass, just sit up like right on the driveway.
Mm-hmm.
Or right next to the driveway. And I stopped and went up and scratched her, and she was just like frantically eating this big tall grass that was along that wood pile.
Mm-hmm.
And I ran over and got some field cubes and the harness.
Mm-hmm.
Why does that sound weird? Harness. Is that what it was? Anyways, I don't even know how to use it. So I'm like, great. Okay. So it has a little loop and a big loop. And I'm like, okay, so she said left side or right side for the thing. And I don't know, it's just me. So I stopped and I called Gypsy and I said, can you come to my house right now? And he was like, well, we're like, I don't know how far away that they had already passed, Holton. So they were headed north, and they stopped and turned around, came right to my aid. And by that time, Jesse and Callie had already stopped in, and I think they were like, what is she doing? And then they're like, oh, I see what she's doing. Mm-hmm. So at first, like the field cubes, she's really like right on top of that. She wants to eat them, mm-hmm. but she saw the field cubes and she's put her head in the bucket, but was like, nope. She made it into the orchard, which is where all of the swells and all of the stuff that I had planted, the comfrey and the the goji berries all have big, beautiful berries on them. Not big, but they're littler, but beautiful berries on them, and they're ripe, ready. And she was just taking a bunch of bites from this row, and then I would come up to her. She'd jump over the row and go over to the next one and start chewing on that one. Mm-hmm. So I ran all over the place. So I'm glad that you came on the 4-wheeler, because at least that way you kind of cut her off mm-hmm. instead of just, she was going up and over them. And these the comfrey is taller than my chest. So it was quite the fiasco. But how long do you think it took us to get her in there? 45 minutes?
30.
Running around mm-hmm. here and there, and
we got her in there.
She crossed once, and then like crossed over the entrance once, and mm-hmm. then back over, and then on the one coming the next loop around, we were able to get her in. But we did fine. She just there were ties on the ground, so she had just gotten her nose right to a pole and like lifted up the fence, and when she did that, it like the ties were like all miscombobulated.
Yeah, she worked it loose. She worked it loose.
She like ripped it right off.
Hey, real quick, I want to just say congratulations. Somebody, Gizmo, put in here. I'm trying to control my excitement. I pick up keys to the new abode, paid in full except yearly taxes.
Good job.
Congrats. Everybody give Gizmo a big congrats there in the chat. I think that's awesome. And, it's another step to living free, and it's leveling up, and new level, new devil, right? Super, super cool. Dina Rydell, I wanted to say hello to real quick. Let's see if anybody I missed here. Yeah, Gregory says, sounds like home. Stop everything and chase a cow. Yeah, look, all you guys beat me to it. Look at all those congratulations.
Halter. That's it. That's what I was calling halter.
Sharon McKee, hello from Mississippi. How are you? Nitos, how are you, my friend? Yeah, Midwest Ribeye, welcome in. Dorothy Holloway, welcome in. Good to see you guys. Make sure I got everybody. Hey, All American Prepper, how are you? I think we got it. Oh yeah, look at all those woohoos. Okay, cool.
Woohoos.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, congratulations. Getting a place paid for is a huge task, and it's so hard today. They don't make any of that easy, right? They just don't.
No.
So I think it's a cool thing, but yeah, it was quite a fiasco. I missed part of my big meeting, which I was super excited about. Missed part of the community dinner so I could be in the big meeting, to miss the big meeting so we could go chase a cow.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of worse things out there.
And I'm pretty sure I would not have been able to get her in on my own.
Mm-hmm. Jean Mengue, hello, welcome in. See, it only took me, I don't know, 37 lives to get that right. So now I'm like, quite proud of myself. Anyway, it's all good, right?
Yep.
So.
Yep. So talked about Mo being out.
Yep.
Got it. Yep.
All right, my turn. You still got plenty of other stuff you want to talk about?
Go ahead.
Okay. So, Gizmo says, thanks everyone. I couldn't keep up. Wow, super, super, super proud of you. And what a great win that is. Hey, Tambra, good evening to you as well. All right, so as you guys know, we've been working on the community building. So today we spent about 8 of us, 10 of us, something like that. Spent some time today. We didn't get started till about 1 o'clock this afternoon, but we started booming the trusses up on the roof. So I thought I would show it to you guys. So this you're looking at the overhang porch. There's going to be, as I mentioned to you guys many times on the lives before, there's going to be big hedge posts that hold the front of that up. But it's one big truss, so it doesn't hurt anything to hang out there. But that's where we got there. That's you looking at it inside, taking a picture. And there's Jesse and, Indiana Mike and the famous Scott Horn. And there's Adam. And a couple of us are missing. I think we're outside of the picture, but that's one side of it. We also got some of the trusses on the other side too, because when you put the gable up, you want to get at least 3 or 4 or 5 trusses all tied together so that if the wind comes in the middle of the night or whatever it is, you've got some strength up there and you just don't have one sitting up there. That's also why you don't see any plywood on them, because I want to leave it open until I can get a lot of it on. Because again, you got the wind and we have the chance for some rain tomorrow early and then again tomorrow afternoon. So I'm hoping tomorrow afternoon, by the time we get there, I've got that really locked in and, a lot more of the trusses, on it. But anyway, so that's pretty exciting. Yeah, this is the other side. And there you go. The king himself, King Jeff Juicy, Hefty, Lefty. Which one did I forget? King Jeff Juicy, Hefty, Lefty. I think I'm missing one.
Gypsy.
I did that one. King Juicy, Gypsy, Hefty, Lefty. Anyway. His beautiful bride is sitting right there, the beautiful Louise. And who's up there? Jesse's up there. Adam's up there. Scott. And then Joe.
Isn't that Mike?
Yep, Indiana Mike. And Joe from American Roots is up there.
Oh, and there's Scott's wife.
Yeah, I actually have a picture of that in here.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to give away a T-shirt on that. We're going to do a little trivia to see who's watching videos. Let's see here. Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. I'm really excited. Let me see here. LJC says I like the roof line. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We're going to see what it's going to look like when we get done.
It's interesting.
Yeah, but it'll be super, super cool. Yep, and Starlit Oak, welcome back in. Let's see here. Okay, so here's the trivia. We want to give away a T-shirt if somebody wants a T-shirt. So I want to talk about the first picture right there. So it's called the Nicky stick. Okay, and if you go back, let me go back a couple pictures here. See if you can see it up here on the wall. On the right-hand side, it's holding the trusses before they get put up. I don't know if you guys can see that up there, but that is called the Nicky stick, okay? So it's even written on it. It's the Nicky stick. So if you guys remember when we were helping Indiana Mike build his home, Nicky was out there. And Nicky, so you guys know, that belongs to Scott, who is in some of these pictures. But she is quite the stud. I don't know what other word to use, right?
Stud,
well,
get it?
yeah, but
Stud.
yeah, that's good. But anyway, she kind of got nicknamed something while we were building that, and everyone had a good laugh at it. And if the first person who can remember what we named her, do you remember?
I don't.
Really? Here, check this out. Remember?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so close. So close. So close. LJC. LJC is very close. Oh, who do we get first? Let's see here. Hey, Katie, Texas. How are you? Welcome. Silver Lining says the Kansas Terminator beat Skane's girl by a hair. So, yeah. Silver Lining, I have a Tribulation Training t-shirt or a Freeman t-shirt or any kind you want next time I see you. I would normally say ship it out, but I'm hoping we're going to see you quick enough that we don't need to ship it. But let me know. If you want me to ship it, I'd be happy to ship it to you. But it was the Kansas Terminator.
Kansas Terminator.
Yep, and it was kind of nicknamed after Lucy Bourne, right? The Terminator that is on all of our lives from Canada, because she is also a Terminator. And so, all right, Silver Lining wins, and I owe you a t-shirt. Pretty cool. Yep, Luis Wesley's in the house. Good to see you. Hosgis 14. Welcome in. Yeah, you guys were so close. Look at that Gypsy American Terminator. Nope, it was the Kansas Terminator. And then, of course, the other picture in the screen tonight, that is his Highness himself. That is King Jeff Juicy Hefty Lefty. I missed one.
I think that's it.
Yep, he's in the house. And so he was taking a ride to go get some more trusses.
Unless you had Amazon.
Oh, we should add Amazon to it. That dude orders more stuff off of Amazon than anybody I know. By far. We should add Amazon into that whole equation. Yeah. All right. Oh, I guess I got another picture there. Okay, let's go back there. That was a set in the first gable. Yeah. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I should have ordered them differently, huh?
Or sent pictures out sooner.
or yeah, that maybe. Oh, look at that. How many more do I got in there? Oh, no. Okay, got one more to add to this page.
That's a butt.
Yep, that's a butt.
That would be a butt.
That's a Jesse butt.
Okay.
Right, that's a Jesse butt.
Oh, yeah, he had breast cancer.
So if anybody was ever curious what Jesse's butt looks like,
I bet you that sits directly on that.
No.
I bet that distance is the same as that distance.
No.
No? You don't think?
Well, we're going to find out, right?
Well, we have to.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the building being utilized for gatherings, but I just can't stop thinking about garden beds and green stalks around it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the whole food forest that gets installed around it. And Jen, something interesting is that I had B, and she'll continue as we go through this process, is that when people come in and help with this whole project, I'm having her ask them a question, which is, what do you want? What are you going to use the community building for?
What are you hoping to use?
Yeah, and so I'm going to do a video once we get this all done. I'll get it out there that has all the people that were involved answering that question. So I think it's pretty neat, and we'll see where it goes. Question: are you going to SRF in October? Likely, but don't know 100% yet. Let me see. Gregory says, trust us 2 foot on center. Yes, sir. Yeah, and Starla says that.
I'm glad you know what that means.
Yeah, I know what it means. Me and Gregory, we speak the same language.
I guess. Boy.
And I thought I would share with you guys something else that was really cool. You guys know that I love artistic things. Like, I'm going to put trees inside of it. I'm going to, do all kinds of cool things. But I found the absolute best doors for the bathroom.
Like moringa trees.
No,
and
not trees that are growing. Not like that. No.
You're going to put trees that are not growing.
Yes, just that are holding the ceiling up.
Perfect sense.
Yeah, right. But I found the perfect doors for bathrooms that are totally artistic. And I don't think they could be any better. You want to see them?
Sure.
You excited?
Yes.
What do you think would make an exciting door?
It's probably made out of like.
What would make me excited
wine
about a door?
bottles or something.
Any other ideas? No.
It's tree. It's made out of a tree.
Well,
I mean, doors are usually wooden, so. Unless they're
these were painted, so I don't know what they're made of. But what would excite me about painted doors? Any idea? Because these hit it right out of the ballpark. There's a good guess. Jen says XX and XY on the door. Oh, Katie Texas says swinging doors.
Oh, I could see you liking that too.
Yep. All American Prep says community is going to be the only way to survive. Community is the most important thing. Yep. A Milwaukee logo on them.
A red door.
Crescent moon doors. No, better than all those. You guys ready? Ready? Here we go. These are the best boy and girl doors ever.
Gosh. You like that?
You don't?
No.
Why not?
Because.
Why don't you like that?
Because that's insinuating that you don't like what we have to say.
No, we have a blah on our door too.
Yeah, one.
It's because we don't talk as much as you guys.
Maybe you should. Maybe if you communicated a little better, we would not have to go back through and redo work. Or ask for directions, but maybe it wouldn't take so long for us to get to where we're going.
Oh my goodness. I thought it was funny. The American Roots likes it. Yeah, Skane's girl. I don't know if that means she likes it or she doesn't. Hey,
You is bad.
Terminator, welcome in. Yep, Nitos thought it was funny. Katie Texas said it was horrible. I thought it was
horrible.
Yeah. Yeah, American Root said, I'll be in there talking up a storm. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. Dorothy Holloway says, no way. Yeah. Touche, B. Yeah. Right on, B. Well, maybe my idea wasn't as popular as I thought it was going to be.
No.
No? Man. You guys have lost the love and feeling.
No, maybe you have, since you don't want to hear what we have to say. Blah, 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 blah.
Mrs. Hack says Darren is over here grunting like Tool the Tin Man Taylor. Yeah. Mo says the building's nice and slopey too. Keep the Secret Service off your roof. I know, right? I think it's steep enough they probably wouldn't get on my roof. Lucky me, huh?
Maybe we should have made it less slopey.
Yeah. What, you want them on your roof?
Maybe we should flip them around.
Yeah, Vicky says, how about free man and free woman?
Yeah.
Yeah, you like that one better?
I don't, if I have to go to the bathroom and the girls' bathroom is busy and it's been busy and I don't foresee it not being busy, I'm going to use the boys' bathroom.
I know.
I don't think it should have boys and girls. I think it should just be pee here, don't pee somewhere else. That's
Indiana.
Should just be
Indiana Mike's in the house. Good evening to you. She says there's a great joke for that, but it's too crude. I thought it was hilarious. Let me see here. Starless says, for some reason, I got a text message from the Biden campaign asking me who I want to run in place of Biden. I said Trump. Oh, go you go. Oh, cool. Oh, it's right here. It says, I'm doing a charity MMA fight for veterans. Good for you. Oh, sorry. Jane Bannon says, hey, y'all, listening from the kitchen tonight. Love the overhang. I'm really looking forward to getting the big logs because I got some big ones up in there. I'm actually hoping to talk Indiana Mike into helping me because he's super handy with this telehandler, and it's going to be able to lift them right up and scoot them right in. I'm hoping. I haven't broke the news to him yet, and he's on this live. So
you're like, he's some good experiences moving big logs.
See, it's blah versus blah 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 blah. See, you proved it. Yeah, Katie Texas says no, B. I don't want to see a urinal.
You're not doing a urinal, are you?
No, I'm going to do. So one bathroom has a shower, a toilet, and a sink. The other bathroom has a bathtub, a toilet, and a sink.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And originally the joke was whether it was a boys' bathroom or a girls' bathroom, that the girls picked the girls' bathroom because it was closest to the hot water.
The hot water heater, yeah.
The hot water heater. So it would get hot water the quickest, which is the only reason why we designated that one
The girls.
The girls, but
or it has a tub too. So
right. But because we'll have many people out here at times doing all of that, I thought it was nice to designate it because where they're coming in from the outside, right? And you got, classes going on, you got these things going on that have a designated girls and boys, even though you use whatever you want to use. But when there's more people here, I think it would keep from someone being embarrassed at least.
Well, you shut and lock the door. Is that what do you?
Well, some people do.
Is that what you think that somebody might walk in on somebody of the opposite sex?
Maybe. I mean, so
okay.
So this is a great poll, everybody. This is a great poll. How many of you, when you're in a public, let's say a restaurant, go into the bathroom and lock the door?
I do.
Okay, I never do.
You never go in and lock the door?
I'm just going to stand at a urinal and pee and wash my hands and leave.
If there's only one toilet in there,
they can stand in line. I don't care.
Ew. It's like one room.
I don't care.
And you're okay with somebody else coming in and standing behind you,
care.
Waiting? That's
I don't
weird.
Care.
That's weird.
Yeah, Skane's girl says, if I have to pee, I don't care. Yeah. Let me see here. Katie Texas says, it's not a hot water heater, y'all. It's a water heater. Oh, yeah. Amen. I can't really argue with that. One Step Closer says, always locks it. Mossy Oak always locks it. Gizmos always lock. Eagle Lover always lock. One Step, but only for number 2. Now that I get.
Oh.
But just to go pee,
really?
Yeah, Dana locks it. If it locks, Hippocrates locks it. Camber says, I'll just go outside and go pee. Yeah, Chris White, how are you? Says every time lock the door. Terminator says, B, I was thinking of you today. I have a new recipe for squash fritters. They're so delicious. All American says nobody could pay anything for the plastic cards today here in Florida. We're going to talk a lot about that today. Yeah, lock. Alan Chase, hey, how are you? Sorry I'm late. I just finished teaching a delayed EVAC casualty care class. I wish you were teaching it here. Yeah. Yeah, that was funny. Katie, absolutely hot water heater makes no sense. Yeah. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, Jen says you don't need to heat hot water. We have up tying to correct folks in the years of plumbing. Yeah, Gregory says, interesting. I had a dental insurance ad. Yep, if there are no stalls, I lock the door. All right. Maybe I'm the weird one. Okay, so you guys know that here in our community, we have some people running for political office. And we had a big billboard that got he put a big billboard up, and I thought I would show it to you guys because I thought it was just, pretty neat. So this is actually a billboard of one of our community members. It's outside of the town that we live in, and it says tax and spend, no transparency, and now a land grab. Are you ready for change? And if you look, I think it's funny because, he got a big farm not very far from here. He's got a pair of scissors in his hand. See that?
Yeah. To cut
spending. Yeah. Yeah. I thought that's pretty neat. What do you think? And this is a big billboard. A big billboard.
I like it.
Yeah.
Are you ready for change yet?
Yeah. Yeah. Let me see here. Midwest Ribeye says, I used to work at a restaurant and we had to clean the restrooms after every rush. There were a few men I walked in on because they didn't lock the door. Mm-hmm. Yeah. LJC says, that's great. Yeah. Chris White says, put up a few more. Yep.
How much is it to put up a billboard like that?
Oh, that one was probably, the billboard itself was $600 or $700 probably. And then it's probably about that a month to have it there.
Oh, you pay monthly?
Oh yeah. That's real estate property. Now I would bet, a sign like that in a big city, it'd probably cost a whole lot more, right?
That's real estate.
Yeah. Well, like purposes, I was thinking of it was a test run. What do you think? Yeah, I've got a whole bunch of stuff on that here in my my slides tonight. I think well, I'll wait. I'm going to save it till I get to those slides. Let me see here. Midwest says, I hope he gets elected.
Yeah.
Yep, I hope he gets. Well, the problem is that for him, it's really going to come down to the primaries. It's not even going to be an election issue because he would win the election if he makes it that far. But because of just where we live. But in the primaries, the person, as soon as they found out he was running, the establishment jumped in and put someone who's worked in 4-county government for, 35 years, who's pretty well known, who was going to retire.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, no, we don't want him there because we go, and I know you guys know this, but we go to some of the county commissioners meetings and we go to some of those things and we can cause, havoc. And so they absolutely know that. And so they're trying really, really hard to make sure that he don't get elected. And he's in District 2, which is my district, but there's 3 districts in my county. And there's another like-minded person who's running in District 1. So we have 2 that are running. The other guy's billboards just have the guy's name and say, vote for Tom Hoffman, District 1. But I just enjoyed that what Matt did here is actually put something else in it, But anyway, I think it's neat. He had his picture for the paper. He went to the courthouse steps with a broom, dressed in his overalls
to clean the place up,
sweep it all up.
Cut taxes.
Yeah, it reminded me of the old brother where out though.
Oh,
right, he's up on the trailer and he's sweeping. Yeah. Yeah, it's sad that you have an establishment as an establishment in such a small town. Midwest Rebel, I'm gonna tell you something. It's every town.
Yeah.
And we're lucky to live where we live, but at the same time, it continues to get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And I think this is true everywhere. Maybe it hasn't reached some places, but I don't know. I think we need to start getting pissed. That's what I think. What do you think, B?
I think you should use the boys' restroom if you do.
Should I lock the door?
Yes. But I guess if there's a line, you don't have to.
Yeah. I've been in a 2-stall restroom and came out of a stall to find a man standing there. I said, oh, heck no, get out of here. Yeah. Dana says, I worked at the McDonald's on I-Drive in the 90s, and they paid $5,000 a month for a billboard on I-4. Ooh. I can't see the picture well, but I was wondering if they were those banding tools for male animals. Yeah, no, they're scissors. Yeah. Yeah, Gregory says all counties have that establishment. Yeah. How many people live in your county? 2,000, I think. Is that right?
2,000 in our county? I don't know.
Hold on, I'll look. I don't know. I should know that. Maybe it was 5,000. I'm trying to remember. Okay, I'll tell you here. I think maybe it's 5,000. Yeah, 5,000 in my county. Cuddly Bear says, which county? Jackson County. Yeah, and Alan Chase says banding tools would be appropriate. I think actually banding tools would be funny, and I'm going to suggest that to Mr.
Devader.
Yeah, I'm going to write that down because that would be funny.
Banding tools.
Yeah, that would be funny. Hey, Helen, good evening to you. All right, babe, what's next on your list? Before I just rant.
Let me talk about that. I got something to eat in my squash plants up at the swells. The other plants around them look healthy. The zucchini looks fine.
Good.
You like zucchini more than squash?
Way better than squash.
Really?
Yeah.
It's the same to me. So heat index was over 100 this last week, and we were able to clean out pod 4. Cleaned out pod 4. I took a short. Did you see my short? Cleaning up your mess on pod 4. All your stuff all over. I meant to take a picture of all the stuff that I put in your truck because I took all the tools and everything, building material out of pod 4 and backed his truck up to the door and just started sticking everything in the truck. Yeah. And
she thinks she's being smart.
Surprise!
Yeah, because imagine me heading out to do something. Also, my truck's loaded to the hilt with screws and nuts and bolts and building materials and tools. And so now I got to go and load them all because I can't just take it like that.
Yes.
Right? Hey, All American Prepper says, I put a challenge video out. Would everyone please share it? It's for a veterans charity. Yeah, I will absolutely share it. Vine borers doing God's work on the squash for tag. Pack rat for the win.
I haven't had a chance to even investigate. When I was going back and forth to the community building today, I noticed in the swells, there's 3 different ones, and all 3 of them look pretty dried and crispy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure what's going on. I did find out too that the dogs are going up and like pulling whole plants up out of the ground, because I had to go and take one of the blueberry plants and put it back in the hole that it was like laying out of. So eventually getting the orchard fenced in will help.
Yeah. Hey, we'll be cool. Welcome in. Gregory says, I've got 10,545 in our county with 7 commissioners. Yeah, and Eagle Lover says, was that the plan tag for the squash bugs? I would consider that divine intervention.
I hope that wasn't the plan. Why would you want to see me fail at something?
I don't. I want you to succeed at everything you do except feeding me squash.
What is the deal with squash? You're like, oh, I'll eat anything.
Pretty much. Am I a picky eater?
Apparently you're not eating squash.
Am I a picky eater?
You're making a big deal about it.
Am I a picky eater?
You sound like
Am I a picky eater?
I don't know. Let's ask everybody else.
They don't know. You feed me every
day. They know
how
much complaining you're doing about squash. Yeah, I think that would say you're a picky eater.
Yeah. Starla says use Dawn dish soap and hydrogen peroxide. Hey, Dave and Sonia in Michigan are in the house. There's a YouTube channel you should go check out if you haven't already. I'm sure that you have. Let's see here. RN says, I plant seeds and grow weeds and insects. Mm-hmm. You do some of that. Well, remember, you guys, if you don't have pests, you don't have an ecosystem. Right? And so I think you have to kind of expect to have pests, and you have to expect those kind of things. I mean, you can always spray them and chemical them out, but then you're obviously eating all of that stuff. I used to do that. Yeah, you used to. Mm-hmm. And if you don't have pests, you don't have an ecosystem. That's just the way it works.
Well, I used to think that that's what you wanted, that you didn't, I didn't know about ecosystem. I didn't know about the beneficial things. I thought that we should just spray to kill every weed, spray to kill every bugs,
Spray to kill your kids.
Well, it doesn't say that on the bottle.
And, to commit suicide slowly, painful.
Yeah, it says after it's dry, it's safe for children and pets.
Yep, Jen says army worms are coming in on the tomatoes. I've never dealt with them before.
Huh, what can you do for that?
See? And Gregory says, I don't like parsnips.
Yeah.
That's fine. You don't have to like everything, right? Do you have to like everything?
No.
So then why do you harass me about squash?
Because you're complaining about it.
Katie, Texas, you just like busting me or what? Says B, go back and see what Tag does when you talk about squash. Yeah, Tamara says, I can't get any squash because of all the vine borers. Bonus. I am the pest. Don't need others, says Mo. Yeah, no doubt. Yep, Starla says, no garden for me this year. Health has been an issue, but going to Colorado to buy veggies by the bushel to preserve. That's actually a good idea. Tag, Dan told me when we met that he would eat almost anything. Just don't feed him beets. Did you tell B do not feed you squash when you met? No, I did not. What I said are, what are the 5 things you want out of life, and how do I help you get them? And how many have you gotten?
She's asking about you and what you won't eat. And if you said something about it in the beginning, like staked that. No, he told me he didn't like tomatoes and he didn't like olives, but every now and again.
Mushrooms. I don't like mushrooms.
Olives. He doesn't like mushrooms either, but he'll eat them if he doesn't know they're in there.
Yeah, so Katie, Texas, did you see that? See, she talks smack too, right? Right?
It was a
beautiful MJ from Wisconsin's in the house. Good evening to you. Where am I at? Sorry, a whole bunch just went right by me. Anyway, oops, right there. They're picked off manually, but I'm going to do a kaolin clay spray in the morning. We don't have any rain for a few days. And Vicky says spray with BT. What's that say?
I don't know.
Bacillus thuringiensis. Genesis.
BT.
Yeah, will be cool like parsnip puree. Why didn't that come up? Oh, there it is. Okay. Nice pivot tag, worth a shot.
Yeah. Don't encourage it, pack rat.
I'm usually successful at those, by the way, especially with my buds. Pack rat, don't bust me. You know. Nito says, I have an organic recipe to use on squash, cantaloupe, and cukes. Squash bugs here will decimate it all if you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. There you go. Jen says mushrooms are only for penicillin. Jen, you and I are on the same page. 100%. 100%. All right, I think I'm caught up here. I plant, I grow. If the bugs eat it, I don't grow that particular plant again. I only grow bug-resistant plants, so I don't have to deal with it. Yep.
See, that was like that Matt butternut squash. That butternut squash was like, hey, I'm going to get bugs, but I'm going to still provide for you and your family and all your neighbors.
And all their neighbors and all their neighbors and all their neighbors.
Yeah, it was very...
Katie, Texas says, we made it through the hurricane barrel. 6 days, no power, but had portable generator to the rescue.
6 days.
Yeah. Guys, I'm going to tell you, and I mean this, everything I got in me, power is going to be the issue, and it's going to get harder and harder. Do everything you can to have some alternative source. Just like Katie in Texas having a portable generator, a few solar panels, anything that helps you get some of those things done. I cannot stress it enough. Hey, Toby Baldwin, there's a future Kansan in the house right there. Let me see here. Chris White says, get old-fashioned golden Listerine mouthwash mix with a small amount of Dawn dish soap spray. Bugs will go away. That'd be easy to try, right? I would think so. All right, what else you got? Let's get off the whole dang squash
is
conversation.
good for you. Go ahead, do your own stuff. Do your own stuff, man.
Well, all the rest of stuff I have is all news and topics and...
Okay, let's do some news and some topics.
Let me see. Nito says, Tag, we still don't have a date for our install. Hey, call me. Obviously not right this second because I'm in a live, but call me. Let's talk. Let me figure out what I can do to help you. I thought it was well under its way and everything was taken care of, but give me a holler.
Give me a holla.
Mm-hmm.
Holla.
Yeah, let me see here. JB says Wellbots has an awesome sale on their 1600 with batteries right now. Yeah, anything, guys. Buy it from anybody. Any of that stuff. I just really think that powering, having some extra there is just going to be a game changer as the weather continues to get hot, as these kind of, those winters get cold, whatever it is. Yeah, crazy. Hickman County Homesteader's last presentation was on solar on your own. Timely. It's so important. So important. Starla says, any thoughts on Trump? Yeah, I'm going to share a whole bunch of my thoughts on Trump tonight. Let's see here. Tag keeps motioning for you to feed him squash. He looks so excited.
Eat?
Mm-hmm.
Eat?
Yeah. Skanes girl. Payback. Gotta be careful. I'm going to see you soon. All right. You want to get talking about other things?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you guys know today, not just today, even into the last couple of days ago, but mainly today, global technology outage disrupts major airlines, 911 services, businesses, banks, all kinds of things were down. And I don't know if you guys knew this. Sure, I got my numbers right, but there was over 1 billion computers affected across the world.
From Microsoft?
Yeah. Here's that's a whole nother story. But it says Microsoft outage caused by CrowdStrike. But CrowdStrike, so you guys know, is a company owned by Microsoft. Okay, and there's a whole bunch of stories to this, but before I get into all those stories, it's really crazy to me that people would put themselves in a situation where something like this makes it where you can't go get money out of the bank. You can't do anything. So the average person has 3 days worth of food in their house and all their money in the bank.
You think they have the average person has
that's what
3 days of food?
That's what the reports that I've read says.
That's so little.
So little. But babe, you got to remember that 75% of the population lives on the coasts. 75% of the population is in the cities. They go out to eat every night. Remember that all the times we visited New York, right?
Yeah.
It isn't like the way we live here. But how can anybody rationally put themselves in a position to have no way to help yourself?
I kind of figured that like New York, that was like the minority. Like most people don't live like that, where they hit the grocery store every day on their way home from work so that they can get just what they're cooking for dinner that night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's just absolutely crazy. Hey, American Roots says, I wanted to point this out. Your Freeman hat looks awesome. And if you look back there, right above that printer behind B's head, there's a metal Freeman hat sign that American Roots made us. And we decided we'd put it in the window. And it is beautiful. And we love it very much. Gregory Christmas says, wasn't CrowdStrike hacked? Well, interestingly enough, I'm glad you asked. Let me get to the next slide here. So here is a map of the airport delays. As you can see on the left there. These are what we're going on today. And most major airlines canceled many, many flights, kind of as they were going through it. But I wanted to share with you guys a text I got. And I just copied and pasted. There's 2 of them in here. So the first thing this morning, I get this text from a buddy of mine who I'm not going to tell you who he is because many of you would know who he is. And I don't want to cause him any problems. But he says, systems are surely breaking down, guys. Now, this guy is not a prepper. Okay. I would not consider him to be, he would be conservative. He would be probably a little bit awake, but nowhere near a prepper. But anyway, he says, systems are surely breaking down, guys. Banks and airlines shutting down. Not only was the traffic to the airport locked up, when I got inside, it was shoulder to shoulder and no access to ticketing. Handwritten tickets only, and 80% plus of the flights canceled. So I'm very lucky to be leaving and getting a flight to be able to get home this weekend. Heads up. And then a little bit of time went by, and he sent me the last text right there that says, as soon as I land, I'm taking a large sum of cash out. No internet means no crypto. This is a big crypto guy. And I think it's just really, really important.
That's true. No internet, no crypto.
Right. Well, no crypto, but no retirement plans.
Yeah.
You're not withdrawing money out of a bank. I mean, guys, we got to take responsibility for ourselves. If you don't have, for me, I mean, I think everyone should have at least a month's worth of cash sitting there. Because this kind of stuff could go on for a while. Right. What if, guys, and I'm not suggesting that this is, what if this was the first attack of World War III? What if this didn't get better? And I'm not suggesting it is. What I'm trying to say is we have to take some responsibility for it, A lot of people in the city don't have cars and live in apartments, so they don't stick up. All American says, I know a lot of people that live that way, and they call me crazy. No one hell, I'm going to have 3 days worth of food. Yeah, how are you supposed to make your EV run in your digital currency? Right. Mo says, even if you have cash, the stores won't sell you anything. Well, some won't.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Some certainly won't.
Some, yeah.
But some certainly will.
I don't think a lot of them will because they have to ring it up.
So what's your choice? I mean, here's the thing. I think that having some cash, I think having some silver, having something you could barter with, I think all of those things matter.
Yeah.
Because Mo's right. Not all of them will take cash, but some of them will. Not all of them would take silver, but you might find somebody that will. But have some options.
Think that if you went into any one of our stores in town here and there was no power to run their cash registers, I don't think that they would be able to ring them up, be able to.
They would start writing tickets, babe.
Cash.
They would take cash.
Be able to.
For at least a short period of time.
Especially the kids, like having to like run a calculator to figure out,
that
10 plus 14.
Yeah, Gregory says, what kind of mess have we let ourselves into? Oh, my goodness. No doubt. Yeah, I love this. Vicky Pullen says that Katy, Texas, we are neighbors. We will need to get together sometimes. You guys do, man. Yoke up, as American Roots would say. Here we go. Katy, Texas says communications, power, cash, water, and food are all essentials. Also medicines. Well, that's another great example right there. Medicines. Let's talk about that. I mean, why would we, if we are dependent upon medicine, why would we allow that medicine to go from week to week or bi-week to bi-week or month to month? I mean, put a month's worth of medicine away. I'm not even talking about zombie apocalypse. I'm talking about just disruption.
Yeah, I think it's okay if it's something that you're on long term, but a lot of the medicines are like your mom. They're like, here's 30 days worth of this medicine.
Right.
Oh, it didn't work for you in 6 days. Let's go ahead and change it to something else.
Yeah.
So she's like, these are all the medicines that they gave me that I bought and I can't use anymore. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. It's definitely an opportunity to talk to any friends and family about being prepared without overwhelming them. Yeah. I'm just, I can't believe how many posts there are out there. I mean, there was a video of a lady who couldn't get her airplane ticket because they shut it all down today. And, as my friend said, they were handwriting tickets, right? You look up here, babe, handwriting tickets, which is what will happen when you bring cash into a store, I think, in a lot of cases. But she couldn't get her ticket, and she literally flopped on the floor like a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
I mean, it was an absolute mess.
I think that if you go into the grocery store and the owner is there, that's one thing. But if you go into the grocery store and it's a whole bunch of just workers, I do not think that they're going to handwrite you a receipt for any items.
Yeah, I have an old school calculator just in case it doesn't work. Katie, Texas says, I'm investing in a shortwave radio. Is that a smart idea? I think it's a super smart idea. I think finding ways to communicate, right? Now, although I'll tell you, I think the internet will be the last that, I don't think they'll take it all the way down because I think the repercussions for that. I mean, think about all the kids if you take their iPad away from what happens, right? I mean,
then they go do something.
I think they'll keep it on. I think they'll keep it going as long as they can keep it going. But having additional ways to communicate, I think, are
essential.
Yeah. Hey, look at that. Crunchy Mama Farms is in the house.
Hey,
how are you? Because I remember East Coast blackout. Cash came in very handy. Yeah. Crunchy Mama Farms, they run a really cool operation down in Texas. For all you Texas people, you guys should reach out to them. It's really good stuff. But I agree. I think cash would absolutely come in handy. And what's the worst that happens? It doesn't. Oh, I missed one right there. One Step Closer says, improve your health is a great prep. Couldn't agree more. Mm-hmm. Katie, Texas says, we actually have a few restaurants with cash only. Hey, and speaking of Texas, just because I didn't say it, where did Bobby open her second restaurant in?
I don't know.
Ah, shit. Hold on. I'll get back to you on that. Let's see here. Alan says, sorry guys, we're going by fast. One of my instructors just returned from Germany. She was telling me military flights were getting rerouted. Oh my goodness. Mike's buddy came over to help on the house today, and his brother-in-law was stuck in Houston. By the way, I pay him in vegetables from the garden for helping us. How wonderful is that? Wonderful, wonderful. Helen says, I'm so fortunate to live by all the farms that take cash. Yeah, how cool is that?
Yeah.
The internet will be kept up to some degree. Too much big money moves digitally. Yeah, that's what I think too. Katie, Texas says, but Tag, we didn't have Wi-Fi for 6 days during hurricane season. Well, yeah, because you're not going to control Mother Nature. All I'm talking about is I don't think they will shut the internet down. I think they will let that ride as long as they can let that ride. Same reason why they won't shut off food stamps. The same reason they won't shut off, WIC, or they won't do any of those things. They'll kill veteran benefits long before they cut off food stamps. Yeah. Right? Because again, it's about trying to keep the peace, right? Cheryl Seller, welcome. Everybody's doing great. See, Greek Fest in Kansas City this September is going cashless. Guess no Greek for me. Yeah, so crazy. Mossy Oak Parrot says, there's a book I read about a worldwide attack on tech infrastructure. They turned the internet and cell phone off long enough to make people suffering, then selectively turned it back on to control people. Yeah, that's a dirty dog, huh?
Well.
Yep. So in case you guys were curious, and I want to give credit where credit is due. So Indiana Mike sent this to me today. So guess who owns? Let me go back.
BlackRock?
No. Let me go back. So we're talking about is CrowdStrike owned by Microsoft, right?
Okay.
Okay. So who owns CrowdStrike? Well, here's your 4 largest shareholders in it: BlackRock, Vanguard, Morgan Stanley, and Jennison and Associates. So this is who owns the CrowdStrike company. Find that interesting?
So how would they benefit by turning that off?
Pack Rat hit it right on the head. If they shut off the internet, how are they going to tell you what to think?
Yeah.
And how are they going to control the narrative? This is why I think it will remain on, or at least some controlled version of it. For some time. Yeah, Gregory hit it right on the head too. Well, this is what I'm saying, babe. This is okay. So you asked, why would they shut it down? Why would they shut everything down? This is the
how would they benefit from
because
it?
this is a fight for control over America, I think. Right? It's the deep state, it's the corporations, it's all of these kinds of things. You know, Trump, in my opinion, was supposed to die. Didn't work. And the very next weekend, you have this 1 billion computers affected. And the people who own the company that did the infecting, or what they're reporting. Now, I personally think it was a cyber attack, probably something from overseas. But if the narrative is true, what they're saying is they just made a mistake. These were the people who, you know, who did that. And I don't know about you guys, but I find that incredibly interesting.
Do you know who owns BlackRock?
BlackRock owns BlackRock.
Who are the people behind it?
Well, what's interesting is like BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard, they pretty much own all of each other, right? So like the largest shareholder in Vanguard is BlackRock. The largest shareholder in BlackRock's Vanguard, right? Or State Street, or, you know, a couple of the other, you know, big ones.
Lovely.
Isn't that great?
That's how it always is.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, G. Johns, how are you? Yeah, I said historically, fear is used to control. 100%. Yeah. Hey, Unique Prepping's in the house. Zach, how are you? Yeah, Will Be Cool says, oh, sorry, wrong one. Will Be Cool says BlackRock owns part of Vanguard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Buy a put and wait. Buy a put and wait for the cash and then rake in the money. Well, people do all kinds of weird things like that.
Crash.
Yep. So a soon-to-be unmasked entities bet that President Donald Trump's DJT stock would plummet one day before the assassination attempt. And if you guys remember this, back at 9/11, there were a couple people who shorted on airline stocks right before 9/11. So basically what a
shorted
it. So let me say it another way. They took a bet that the company would fall, not necessarily go out of business, but that there would be a huge decline in the value of their stock. So some companies bet, okay, that Donald Trump, the DJT stock, would plummet. And they took the bet a day before the assassination attempt. Had Trump been killed, his stock would have absolutely plummeted.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Shorts against the Truth Social stock more than doubled from July 1st to July 12th, meaning people or large organizations were predicting that by Monday the stock would plummet. Something that undoubtedly would have occurred had the president died in Pennsylvania. This could mean some had foreknowledge of the plot against President Trump's life and tried to profit from it.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. And do you remember, and again, guys, if you guys remember, this happened on 9/11. There were a few companies out there that did exactly that. Yep. So revealed the firm that took the suspicious and enormous bet against President Trump's Truth Social one day before the assassination attempt is Austin Private Wealth, LLC, which the majority is held by Vanguard and BlackRock. See how that all just ties together, right? Coincidentally, BlackRock, the party that would have greatly profited from President Trump's death, included the shooter, Thomas Matthew Cooks, in a 2022 promotional video. No, you didn't see that on the news?
No.
Yes. Yes.
Coincidence.
Of course. Everything's a coincidence, guys. Alex Soros infamously shared an Atlantic magazine cover image which featured a bullet hole in glass followed by a picture of cash, which added up to the number 47, a message some interpreting as a cryptic death threat against President Trump. The story gets deeper. So the Austin Private Wealth Company that we were talking about that shorted Donald Trump's stock, right, prior to the assassination, shorted 12 million shares of it. With a filing date of June 12th, made a huge bet that Trump's business value would plummet. Guess who this company donates to? Here's a few of their top donations. The ACLU, the ADL Austin, Shalom Austin, the Jewish Community Center, Camp Young, Beth Israel, Austin Jewish Academy. But I'll tell you, the story gets even crazier. The shooter grew up in an area that is a BlackRock company town. He showed up in one of their videos, as a student a few years ago. That's what they're talking about. Isn't that absolutely crazy? Right? So the same company, though, by the way, Mike, thanks for doing this for me, because then I went and started digging. The very same company that shorted the 12 million shares of Donald Trump stock on the day before his attempted assassination, Austin Private Wealth, LLC, also shorted 34 million shares of Rumble on the exact same day. If Trump were to have been killed, Rumble would have tumbled just like the DJT stock would have collapsed, resulting in a windfall of profits potentially in the billions. Yep.
And that's not suspicious.
Yep. Packrat says, oh, there it is. You guys always follow the money, right? The money will tell you. This is why I think they're going to use Kamala Harris as president. Nothing to do with Kamala Harris. Purely has to do with the money. Yeah. Gregory says, what a tangled web we weave when we first practice to lie and deceive. Yeah. Said super well. Super well. They tried to kill him and missed. What's next? We're going to talk about that. What was his name? Patsy? Yeah. Not that I'm aware of. Yep. And also, so you guys know, from Microsoft, since we were talking about Microsoft, right, in the big collapse, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Microsoft has now laid off its entire DEI team. Diversion, equity, inclusion.
They laid them.
Right? Yeah, so they're getting out of the DEI business, they're saying, but it seems like there's a lot of change going on at Microsoft, that the owners of Microsoft are shorting stock, right, in betting on, I don't want to say they were betting on, no, the betting on Trump being killed, really. Yeah. I mean, which is just so.
Well, if he did pass, then they would have benefited.
Yes, in the billions.
Yeah.
Not a little bit of benefit. Absolute billions of dollars.
Yeah.
You know, and there's so many coincidences, you know, to all of this. And I have so much more news that I didn't even make in my slide tonight, because by the time I got it all loaded up and I was reading the extra stuff, it's crazy. But you guys remember the CrowdStrike company, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody know who the president of that company is? And again, thank you to Indiana Mike, because it let me dig. So the president of CrowdStrike, which is, again, the company that caused all these major outages, a guy named Sean Henry. And Sean Henry in 2012 was the former FBI senior executive. Spent 24 years in the FBI and was the assistant director of the FBI under Barack Obama. Just all connected.
Yeah.
Right?
The tangled web.
Yep. Crazy. Yep. She says he's a patsy or an scapegoat, cannon fodder for their crooked games. Yeah. There's some stuff that it looks like it's leaning towards that proves exactly that. Yep. LJC says John Deere got rid of their DEI. Yeah, so did Tractor Supply. Unique Prepping says, yep, I believe Harriman is the nominee to hide the money. Yep, I don't see there any way they don't pick anything else, but maybe they will. But yeah, Katie Texas says, tag this information is overloading my ability to comprehend. Well, it's hard. It's so connected. Right. I'm going to make the story way worse before the live's over tonight, just so you know, but just because that's what I do. But I mean, I can't believe that is the FBI director. Just absolutely crazy. But the story continues to get worse, right? You got anything you want to add before I go on?
No.
You got anything else you want to talk about?
No. I'm waiting to see what the web is.
Yeah.
I'm following
it's hard to follow
the breadcrumbs.
It is absolutely hard to follow it. Yep. The LJC says, tag the deliverable of good news.
Right. Here's the thing, though. All the stuff that's true, just the stuff that you're bringing to us, and none of it surprises me.
Yeah.
It's all the matrix of crap that we get to.
I think there's a big fight going on for our country right now. And
between who?
Between the powers that be, you know, the deep state, the people who want to keep control, and us, the people.
Oh.
We're at a pivotal moment. We are living through history, you guys. We're going to see the resurgence of America. We're going to see the resurgence of patriotism. We're going to see the resurgence of the American way. We're going to see the resurgence of everything that made America great. Or we're going to see tyranny, dictatorship, corruption, famine, theft. I mean, we're
rail cars.
Yeah, rail cars. Great, babe. Exactly right. And we're at this incredible Y in our road right here, and it's all going to get determined.
Right. And are you going to keep your mouth shut while the cars are filling up with women and children and being shipped away to? I'm not. Work camps.
Yeah, Starla says, my opinion is Trump has something on them. Everyone loved him before he turned Republican and ran for president. They're scared.
They did. He was more popular before he was president.
Oh, well, yeah, they turned on him, right?
They did turn on him.
Just like they would turn on Joe. Joe refuses to go. TTL. What's TTL?
Joe refuses to go, and
don't think they can make him. Jill and Hunter have too much dirt on others. Well, it seems to me that he's really pushing back and upset that they're trying to get him out, but he's leaving either way. He's not going to have a choice. But I love me a good whodunit popcorn. Ready? Go.
Go.
One step closer. I just want a peaceful, boring life. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, DEI. I didn't earn it. Amen. Yep, squirrel brain kicking in. Bathrooms. He, him, she, her. Yeah, right. What about Jill Biden declining the day before that she was doing a stump in Pittsburgh the same day, pulling some of Trump's agents? That's also interesting. I read that as well. So Jill decided to have an event, Joe Biden,
Okay.
and kind of last minute, and pulled a bunch of the Secret Service with her to protect her. So put less staff on the Trump thing. But there are plenty of people. These stories are so convoluted. I'm starting to empathize with Biden. Yeah, I know. It's so hard to even know what's real and what's not.
Well, yeah, because I heard that the SWAT saw the guy on the roof, and for like 3 minutes.
Oh yeah, I got all kinds of slides on it.
Intervene, and was told to stand down for minutes.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that's accurate though. That's the thing.
Well,
we
it's
don't
hard
know
to tell.
who the
None of us were
story
there,
is.
right? And so you got to figure out who you believe and who you trust. And what I try to do is if I find a news source that's repeated a bunch of times, right? Like you talk about the 3 minutes, how they had him for 3 minutes. If Fox and CNN and a couple alternatives, everybody's kind of reporting the same thing. Maybe I don't know what to believe though.
All you have to do is whisper in somebody's ear.
Yeah, I know. Packrat says, my bride, either way, it's going to be bloody. I would agree with that, but we're going to come out of it one way or the other, right? We're up against evil, I think, as All American Prepper said. Yeah, ain't no coincidence. This is the highlight of my week. I've been working on the gardens and house stuff. Well, I'm glad that I could be the bearer of great news to you, Jen.
I wish you were here working on my garden and house stuff.
Yeah. I saw a story by a Secret Service agent said, B just said it. Yep. There's a report that Joe, meaning Jill, has warned the Dems if they try to replace Joe, they threaten mutually assured destruction. Yeah, one person started calling DEI version of the Secret Service the Secret Cervix. Oh no. All right, so let's get trucking on and get deeper into all of this. So here's the official story so far, right? A random 20-year-old acting completely alone walked within 150 yards of the presidential campaign rally with a rifle, climbed onto a rooftop in full view of Secret Service snipers, set up his shot, and fired without anyone intervening and with no help from anyone. This 20-year-old is also a political radical as to attempt an assassination, and yet not radical enough to have ever posted any political writings or commentary on any social media site ever in his life. He also wrote no manifesto and left behind no indication onto why he did it. His last and only political act before attempting to kill the Republican candidate was to register as a Republican. You must believe this and ask no questions about it, or else you're a conspiracy theorist. Mm-hmm. The wife of the Trump, the person that actually died, because everyone says that the bullet missed. It didn't miss. It killed a man. Didn't kill Trump, right? But it killed a man. But the wife of the firefighter guy who died, Corey, widow Helen, declined the condolence call from Biden after her husband's death at the Trump rally. And she was quoted as saying, "My husband was a devout Republican and he would not have wanted me to take the call."
So the guy that died was a firefighter. And he was there on duty?
No, he was there. He was there with his family at the rally.
Okay. So he was a guest.
He was just someone in the audience.
That sucks.
Yeah. Oh, yep. Cuddly bear for the win, acted alone and used encrypted comms to nobody. Yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it? Yep. People were pointing at the kid on the roof and nothing was done. A video also of a person on the water tower. Yeah, the water tower thing, I did not put in here because I'm still trying to research all of it. There's actually several sources now talking about how there was also a shooter in the water tower, and some of the forensics show that the first 3 bullets had similar sound, speed, but the 5 after that were between 2 different guns, 2 different types. So it'll be interesting to see how it comes out. I
listened to a lady who said she was there, and said that the bullets came from the opposite side of what they're actually saying they came from.
And I've seen some of those people who said that, but I've also been around guns enough to know that sometimes those sounds can be a little misleading.
Ricochet or whatever. So like
one step closer, he died protecting his children. That's the firefighter. He covered his family with his body. Yeah.
Jeez.
YouTube will not let me post a particular comment. Imagine that. Well, you guys know, I don't know if you know this about YouTube now, but YouTube is now using AI to scrub comments. They actually have a program now that's looking for you to say certain things. So if you guys put a comment in and it's deleted, that's why. The AI bots are taking care of it in there. I saw a clip from Bongino saying the FBI was scrubbing his social media. Yeah, Starlight says, check out the Dan Bongino on the water tower. I haven't seen that one yet. Didn't one shot come from the sniper? Yeah, so you can take, so there's 3 different guns. The forensics sounds are saying there was 3 guns. Obviously one, well, according to the story, would have come from this young kid, which now I'm kind of questioning, but let's say it came from this 20-year-old kid. 1 came from the sniper. What's the 3rd one? Yeah. G.I. John says, good to know about the bots. Yeah, it's going to happen more and more and more. So don't be a bit surprised if your comments get taken down. There's a video of off-grid desert farming with Paula and Andrina with a lady that was there about 2 shooters and bullets flying 2 ways. Yeah, I didn't know. They're now talking about how 3 bullets went by Trump's head. I didn't know that. I thought it was just 1 originally, but.
Have you ever been fired upon? Can you tell which way the bullet is like traveling? Like if you're standing there, can you like, oh, it just went that way?
Yeah, I think generally you could. I mean, I've never had a bullet whiz by my head.
That's what I was asking. If you could tell like which way it's going.
Yeah. What 20-year-old doesn't have an online presence? Yep. They also pointed out the trajectory as well as an issue. Yeah, I actually got some slides about that. Did anyone talk about casings yet? I've heard nothing about casings yet, Mo. Nothing. ER doctor said the bullet that hit Trump came from rear of ear. That's why the blood was forward on the face.
So it came from behind
which
him.
Would be the water tower. See, there's a big theory now. Oh, I don't want to say that because we'll talk about it. I have a slide in here about it, about what's really happening, but we shall see. Let's continue down. So some of the stuff that I've read, CNN, shooter carried a 12-foot ladder, AR-15 and 50 rounds, and they mapped his path. So a 20-year-old kid they're saying, carried a 12-foot ladder and an AR-15 in a backpack or whatever over a mile to get where he was, and nobody said a thing. I mean, it's pretty hard, I would think, with all the police officers, all the Secret Service, nobody said anything. Crazy, right? Local counter sniper team, the New York Post reports, was inside the building where Trump shooter climbed on the roof and opened fire. So they're saying there were SWAT teams inside. So if they were inside, they could very easily been on a platform up towards the roof and made the exact same shot. Very easy, right? This would also explain why is it that they waited so long to take the assassin out. He got off, according to them, 5 shots. Why? And they were clearly watching him the whole time. They were waiting for him to take the shot, in my opinion, so Trump was killed, so they could kill him quick, and there was no evidence.
Right? Snap.
Yeah, the shooting range, a gun store, and a ladder purchase, right? And so they were talking about, at first it was a 5-foot ladder, but there's a picture of the ladder, as you guys can see, and it's clearly a lot bigger.
Well, then they said over here a 12-foot ladder.
Yeah,
so is
there
that
they
12
say foot? That's way more closer to a 12-foot than it is to a 5-foot. The question, too, if you were asking is, since when have the mainstream media outlets covered Trump or Kennedy's rallies live? Right? They don't traditionally cover any of the rallies live, but they were there at this one live. Breaking, according to the New York Times, Thomas Matthew Crooks, so you guys know that was the young 20-year-old kid, had no criminal record, but according to the FBI, he had no ID, so they identified him using DNA and biometrics data. So the question is, why and how does the government have access to DNA and biometric data on someone that isn't a criminal? How would they have access to that? Does that make sense?
Well, they could have. That could be a twist.
Well, I mean, maybe he was on
They probably did the DNA afterwards. They probably,
But how would
they were like, "Who are you?" And he was like, "I'm not telling you." So they probably
he was
pulled
dead.
some. Oh well, that's why I didn't know he. I didn't.
So
know
if they took blood
dead.
from him after he died, how would they know
They
it
shot
was
him
him?
dead right there on the
roof. Yeah, they waited they waited for him to take the shots. Trump dropped and they killed him. So how are they going to compare the DNA? Momo and Indian says could have got the DNA from dad and mom, but it says that they performed it there.
Well, DNA takes time. They can't do it in 1 minute.
No, they can do it super quick now today.
Overnight.
Yeah, I think it's suspicious that they can do that. Yeah, 23andMe, Hippocrates says maybe he did that. Maybe. Yeah. Every time I say something, they scrub it. Of course they do. So explain the 2-eyed in car and remote deal for them on shooter. That has me stumped. I don't understand what you're saying there, Starla. The ancestry, maybe an ancestry DNA kit, maybe. When I was in school back in the 1960s, everyone in 5th grade was fingerprinted.
Yeah.
Yep. But DNA, I mean, the government shouldn't have access to DNA of people who aren't criminals, right? There you go. Cheryl says most employees require blood tests for insurance. Maybe.
Do they? I've never given blood for a job.
I haven't either. But before anyone forgets what actually happened on January 13, they observed Crooks for 30 minutes prior to the attempted assassination. There were agents and officers stationed inside the same building he was perched on. Ample number of people in the crowd brought attention to Crooks' presence. The Secret Service detail was cut down because of Joe Biden's deciding to go to an event which pulled agents away from Trump's detail. They didn't station, counter snipers on the roof because it was sloped, although other units were seen on other sloped roofs. I don't know if you guys seen it or not, but the Secret Service director came out and said that they had a safety concern about snipers being on a sloped roof.
Aren't snipers on every terrain?
Yeah, aren't they supposed to be the best of the best? Anyway, that was the dumbest statement ever. They couldn't access his phone because, well, it's not a grandma protesting outside of a clinic. There were women in the detail that couldn't even holster their weapon. Agents were seen ducking after the attempt on Trump's life was made. They didn't remove Trump when the threat was first detected. An officer that climbed a ladder to approach Crook then backed down off the ladder. Something doesn't pass the smell test about this whole ordeal. I'm not saying it was an intentional, but a lot has to go wrong in order for it not to be true. After all of this, the Secret Service director placed the blame solely on the local police, saying they didn't do their job, which I thought insane that you would absolutely do that. Yeah, G. Johns has it right there. I didn't realize slope roofs were unique. Alan says military does DNA tests for us. Yeah, but this is a guy that wasn't in the military with no police record. Where did they get his DNA? Right
there on the scene is what I'm imagining.
But they wouldn't have nothing to compare it to. If they didn't have a record of his DNA, they couldn't compare it and identify him.
Right. They were like, who is this? Is this
How
John?
did they have his original
Tim?
DNA? How did they have something to compare it to? Right? Let's see here. Instigator says there's a device called a nanopore that is a consumer-level DNA sequencer, very portable. So if that's on the mass market, I'm sure the federal law enforcement would have equal or better. Couldn't agree more. Maybe they took his DNA when he did the BlackRock thing. So why was President Trump even on the stage, right? So Dan Bongino, this is from him. Sources tell him that they had been monitoring the shooter since he came in around an external perimeter and they lost track of him. Apparently, he was hiding in a building about 300 yards away. Dan Bongino continues to break down information. He says, folks, if they had this subject on their radar, that you had a potential threat, I think the question now are fairly obvious. Why was President Trump even on the stage at that point? He should have not been on the stage. It's ridiculous. I mean, do you know you're in a situation with a potential threat out there? Why not just delay?
No kidding. Good job.
Yep. Let me see here where I forgot where I'm at right there. Okay, so Gregory says maybe the C and they got a DNA from nose swabs. From the COVID. Maybe. Crook's father called 911 worried about his son. I read that. I read SS agents replaced DHS agents.
His dad called
911 worried about his son.
What? My son left here with a rifle and a ladder. Please find him.
No, he went and bought the ladder from a Home Depot and then went to a gun store and bought the rounds. The rifle was his dad's, but at least that's what they're reporting, right? I think he was working in a nursing home. Maybe they got the DNA there. Maybe.
I don't think they take DNA to work in a nursing home to serve food.
We will never see interviews with local police nor the hero sniper, just like the feds walked around Dallas 1163 and told local witnesses to shut up or else. Yeah. Hey, Banquet of Consequences in the house. How are you? Good to see you. Should we continue?
Sure.
So this was interesting to me too. So this is actually this is what they're claiming is the trajectory of the bullet, right? Because again, none of us was there. But if you look in the top left picture, that's when he was facing straight, when he was talking, that's where the bullet would have entered. And he turned kind of at the last minute why that bullet, kind of whizzed by his head. But if you actually look in the bottom right picture, you can actually see the hole in his ear. See that how they slowed down the video?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you guys, but that would be pretty hard to fake, I think. I don't know, but it's impossible to overstate how much of a miracle the experience on the 13th was. And what's interesting is now they're saying that there was 3 shots and all of them went right by his ear. Starla says Trump raised $6 million for the fireman's family and 2 other victims that are in serious condition. Yeah, I hope they see all that money. Absolutely crazy. So let's see here. Breaking news, 11 instigates exclusive. Pittsburgh motorcycle officers transferred after working on Trump rally. Breaking, 2 Pittsburgh motorcycle police unit supervisors that helped Trump and supporters in the stands have just been transferred out of their unit by the Democrat police chief because according to the sources, they never got permission to assist Trump. Yeah, just a photo of the FBI destroying the crime scene. So if you look at that next top photo, that's them washing off, I'm just presuming the blood up there. But also what a great way to, again, destroy evidence, right? And then the bottom picture, I think middle picture is so interesting. So this is the Secret Service director, and she was quoted, this was a while ago, was quoted as, "I won't take a bullet for Trump." Outrage. A female Secret Service agent, this is before she's director, reveals she wouldn't risk her life to protect the U.S. president because she is a Hillary Clinton fan.
Is she the one that couldn't put her gun back away?
No, this is the director.
Because she done that picture right there look like the one that had the...
Oh, cool. Let's see here. Did they say if it was scoped yet? These are basic questions. So no, it was iron. From what I seen from the pictures that they released, it was iron sights, but he had a silencer. By the way, Banquet says she got the tea and the honey. Excellent.
Yay.
It's amazing what Trump will do for an ear piercing. Mm-hmm. If I was Trump, I'd tell him, leave that hole there. It'd be like a badge. Well, now has the votes of all the pierced population. Oh, right. Maybe they took his DNA while going through programming. That's more what I was thinking. Eric Prince, if you know who that is, used to be my boss, said Trump should sue, and that was the worst protection he'd ever seen. Yeah, everyone's saying that. Trump and Zelensky have spoken. Yeah, I don't think Zelensky wants Trump very bad, and I think Russia would love to have Trump. And I don't think China wants Trump very bad. I think they would love to have Biden. Yeah, crazy. Hey, Tulip Little Angel, how are you? Says there's audio of all 8 shots being analyzed. 3 came from one rifle, 4 came from rifle 2. The last sniper that took out the perpetrator. Yeah, and I heard there was 3 separate potential rifles, but if 8 were shot and 3 came from rifle number 1 and 4 came from rifle number 2, right? And the last from the sniper that took out the perpetrator, then who are the 4 that came from number 2, right? And Gregory says Secret Service director needs to go, and all of the upper management needs to go. Because if you, and Mo will love me saying this, but if you condone that, if you work in that, if you don't stand up to that, then you're just as guilty, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Been shot, unfairly treated by the feds, has bling. Trump has some serious street cred. Yeah, well, and everything they do just makes him stronger, right? They're so dumb. Everything they do just makes him more and more of a martyr. Some of the headlines from that time: the Washington Post front page on the front page on the day of the Trump assassination attempt read, "Biden trains fire on Trump." And it's so funny. He got called out on being in the bullseye, and he said, "Well, I didn't say crosshair. I said bullseye." Let's see here. Who's this one? USA Today reports Trump was removed from stage by Secret Service after loud noises startles former president.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. Let me see here. The Washington Post reported Trump escorted away after loud noises at Pennsylvania rally. CNN reports Secret Service rushes Trump off stage after he falls. Isn't that crazy? And there was a leaked memo that went out to the press, and I snip clipped it when it came out. And again, I wasn't there. They say it was leaked, but it says to the Trump rally story, and they were talking about us to the media. They were saying, reminder to stick to the facts, don't speculate, editorialize, sensationalize, or jump to conclusions when reporting on the Trump rally incident today. Don't call it an assassin attempt unless authorities say it is. Don't say a shooting targeted Trump or the rally unless authorities confirm that's connection. Clarify if it's actually gunshot. That's unclear at this moment. If authorities don't know, then it's okay to say that. Anchors, remind to be mindful of body language when presenting the story. No need for serious face or adding comments or objectives or color. No need to say scary moments today at Trump rally. Just get to the story.
Just say amazing. It and get over it.
Yep.
Don't.
Will be cool says I saw a pre-shooting pic that appears to be a red dot type site. Ooh, I didn't see that, but I'd like to. Imagine what Biden would look like after a dog pile of SS agents, right? You know, he would be recuperating in Delaware for a week. Yeah, no doubt, huh? Yeah. Obama wants a $5 ad. Yeah, they're getting ads on the backside from Obama. CNN has only live streamed one Trump rally. Guess which one? Bingo. Isn't that funny? How it all just comes together all the time.
And it was live? Or did they play it afterwards?
No, they played it live. They played the Pennsylvania one live, but they hadn't been covering any of the rest of his live. So you have the economic system shorting, betting on the fall, right?
Yep.
You've got the media covering it live for the first time. You've got weird people in the audience. Oh, you guys, I don't know if you guys, I didn't put it in the slide, but you remember, and it was out there, that dark hair lady that was sitting right behind Trump that everyone was accusing of signaling the shooter. So right before the shot, she sits down, she lifts up her sign.
She lifted it up.
It kind of looked like she saluted to one side. But anyway, she picks it up. They pan away. They pan back after the shot, and she's standing there with her camera.
Yeah.
And you guys remember that? Let me know if you guys remember who that is. I have some interesting things on that.
You think that they're supposed to know who it is?
No, do they remember the lady that I'm talking about? That's all I'm asking. Would you think that someone would have saw a red dot? You would think, right? Hey, Mandy Garrett, how are you? Hello, just got back from community gathering dinner. Congratulations.
Oh, nice.
Does this mean all of his rallies will be covered forward? I don't know, but I would certainly pay attention to the ones that are. Do you all remember the creepy State of the Union with Biden? You know, the red background and the creepy speech? Go watch it again. It'll explain the psyop. Oh, good call. Good call, good call, good call. Josh Hawley has whistleblowers that are saying that some were not even Secret Service and some were the most inexperienced. And after seeing the woman unable to holster a gun, I believe it. Yep. And Gregory for the win says FBI lady. So the lady that was sitting down that did all of that. Okay, where's my notes here? Where did I write it? So she is FBI director, assistant director. Her name's Janine DeQuepsey. And she is actually the assistant director of the FBI. LJC says, yep, I saw that video of her right behind him. And she's standing right behind him. And then she sits down, lifts up a sign, and the bullet whizzes by. They scream back to her, and she's instantly on her phone. Looked very strange. Yep. Yeah, 1 + 1 definitely equals 47 here. Yes, it does. At that range, you don't need a red dot. I would agree. Starla says that's been debunked. Yeah, it might have been. Hard to tell what the truth is, huh? Right. Why did photographer have a high-speed camera that could catch a bullet in midair? Yeah, because that was interesting. There was a picture of Trump with the bullet. They actually got the bullet in the picture, whizzing by him. Yep. So many people on the left are saying that we on the right are defying Trump. We know he is not Jesus. We know Trump has a covering of God. I'm not the hugest Trump fan, but I mean, what they're doing is just simply not fair, right? I mean, this is the deep state against freedom. And if Trump's on my side of freedom, I'm for him. I don't particularly like the guy, but right. The one with the sign and then the phone. Yes. Yeah. She had no reaction. And she does, Big B, it does look like she smiled after the shot. Yeah. Haven't been following the news. How far away was the water tower? Enough for a red dot? Probably. Because it was significant. When you looked at the picture, I haven't seen how far away it is, but the guy on it, because there's a picture of the water tower with a dude on it. He's super, super small. But the other thing I'd be interested to know too, and I'm not 100% sure of this, but if you guys remember the hole in his ear, and it's hard to tell, but a 5.56 or a 2.23 that comes out of an AR is a very small bullet. You know, it's very thin. It's not this big round hole. That hole looks significantly bigger, and might just be the picture, but.
Well, and I think that, if you're shot through the ear, right. I think there's some kind of,
probably
kind of balloon effect, plus the swelling and all of that happens instantly too. So it's not going to be just, even if it was a small bullet, you're still going to have a hole.
Yeah, this whole deal, everything that's going on is crazy, and the story just keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper. What do you think of all this?
I think that
we should grow a tomato.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that I don't think it was planned. I don't think that he was like part in on it. I don't think that.
You think Biden was not in on it?
No, I don't think Trump was in on it. I don't think that he.
Yeah, that wouldn't make sense to me either, because for him to take the risk of them getting him in the ear.
Yeah, and not the head.
Yeah, I don't buy any of that.
I don't understand though. Why didn't they just take a body mass shot instead of a head shot?
Because you're a whole lot more likely to live if it hits you in the chest.
Less likely to miss though.
Less likely to miss, but more likely to live.
You're turning your head back and forth, and he was moving quite a bit.
Oh, he is. I don't want to say he's a lucky guy, because I don't even know what to word on that, but it was milliseconds. I don't think it's
luck. I think that
it was milliseconds.
He's not done here, that's for sure.
Yeah. Moving on to some funny stuff.
Funny?
Yeah. So Joe Biden just said Barack Obama asked him to be his vice president in 2020. Biden was elected as president in 2020. Right. Another one that I thought that was funny is they were talking about the Trump shooting, and Lester Holt says, "Is it acceptable that you still have not heard, at least publicly, from the Secret Service director?" And Biden said, "Oh, I've heard from him. By the way, the director of the Secret Service is a woman."
Oh my gosh.
Yep. But to save the day, you guys, Biden's on your side. He announces a plan to cap rent hikes. President Joe Biden has announced a new plan to halt rent increases in the U.S. as Americans battle soaring housing prices. Mr. Biden proposed, which require congressional approval, would cut off tax credits for landlords who try to raise their rent more than $55. Yeah. And then, by the way, Joe forgot that Lloyd Austin's name and instead referred to him as the black guy.
Oh my gosh.
Lloyd Austin is the Secretary of Defense. Not just lovely. Let me see. Like Nikki Haley said, you don't have to agree on everything, and you don't have to like his tweets, but we need to unite and clean up the mess and the weekend at Bernie's. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Oh, and Gregory had a good point, but he probably wears a bulletproof vest also, right, because of the risk. He decided to go off script at the second and turned his head away from the teleprompter to look at the computer screen. I guess he didn't tell anyone he was going off script. Right. So had he stayed, I read that too. Had he stayed on that? Yeah. Well, come on, man. Anyway, the thing. Think about it. Think about it, Jen. Oh, I think I got all those. Okay. What do we got next on there? Rumors swirl that Biden is opening up about exiting the campaign, news sources say. Senator Chuck Schumer reportedly told President Biden that it would be best for the country if he steps aside. President Biden was seen slowly walking up the short stairs of Air Force One after testing positive for COVID, which is super interesting too. Obama tells allies Biden needs to seriously consider his viability. All American Prepper says, I think we're in big trouble. We must resist. By the way, Jen says, I'm no big fan of Nikki. Only the big guy can raise the rent and inflation. Right. Raises inflation through the roof, but then puts a cap on rent. So stupid. Right. I mean, that's like really, really dumb stuff. So Biden does say, though, Biden says he'll consider dropping out if a medical condition emerged.
For him?
President Biden has said none of his doctors have told him he has a serious medical condition, but his debate performance last month raised questions about his health. And so Biden did say if there was a medical condition, he would drop out. A couple days later, the attempted assassination on Trump. A couple days later, we get 1 billion computers hacked, and then he tests positive for COVID. If you're vaccinated, he was quoted long back in 2020, you have over a 98% chance of never catching the virus, and yet he's tested positive for COVID for the third time. Moments after the Senate briefing, which suggested the U.S. Secret Service know all along of plans to assassinate President Trump, Joe Biden was conveniently diagnosed with COVID and was seen struggling up the stairs of Air Force One. The president presented this afternoon with respiratory symptoms to include rhinorrhea, and I hate reading these medical terms because I'm not a medical guy, and non-productive cough with generally, what's that word right there? Malaise. Anyway, he felt okay for his first event of the day, but given that he was not feeling any better, point of care testing for COVID was conducted and the results were positive for COVID-19. Possibly foretelling of Obama's viability. The rent limit proposal is 5%. Biden screwed that up too. Yeah. Yeah. Biden's behavior has been staged since the debate. Open mouth look, interview with Bet. Yep. Couldn't agree. And they're totally getting ready to make the change. And there's a high probability by the end of this weekend, he's no longer running. Maybe Biden's mental
deterioration.
Deterioration is due to the COVID vaccine he got. Yeah, likely. I actually believe that. He said that back in 2019 and 2020 during the campaign, he would get an illness and step down. Salty Cracker did a video on it a month ago. You can't make a movie like this. No, no, you can't. Coming from the Health Ranger, I thought this was a really interesting take and kind of lines up with, I know a lot of other people's takes, but I got to stop for Mo. Mo said, didn't Epstein have a serious medical condition? Yes, he did. There's now very critical explanation emerging that says the U.S. Secret Service agent on orders of Kimberly Cheadle and Alejandro Mayorkas placed a Secret Service team inside the building where the shooter was crawling on the roof, and that the actual shots targeting Trump may have been taken by the Secret Service from inside the building. This would be consistent with the audio forensics of the shooting recordings, since the distance would be nearly identical to the rooftop shooter. This also explains why counter sniper teams held their fire until after the shooter killed Trump. Their job was to eliminate the patsy. Note that the U.S. Secret Service had eyes on this young man for at least 30 minutes, watching him with an actual rangefinder, scoping the range of the shot, then with a backpack, then scaling the ladder and going onto the roof. They watched him and reported on his progress. They did nothing to stop him. They did everything but load his rifle and pull the trigger. We need an immediate criminal investigation into Kimberly Cheadle and a hard look into all U.S. Secret Service counter snipers deployed that day. This stinks to high heaven. Note that in the assassination of JFK, they also had a patsy, while the real shot was taken by a CIA-run sharpshooter. Cheadle's bizarre sloped roof excuse doesn't pass the smells test. She's covering it up. Yep. Let me see. Rhinorrhea is a $40 word for a runny nose. Maybe Joe will be intubated. Yeah, that would be fair. Yeah, I can't believe I said that. Sorry. Dang, Gina, what? I know. Absolutely crazy. Maybe I have another one on there. Let me see real quick here. Sorry, guys. Oh, no, that's a different one. I'll talk about that in a minute. Anyways, what do you think about his theory? Yeah, I'm talking to you. Hello.
Yeah, sorry.
Good day.
I was thinking
Good
of something
evening.
else.
Were you sleeping? I'm so glad you could join us tonight, baby. You don't know anything I said, do you? Oh my goodness, busted on live TV. Okay. So what's your theory on the Trump thing? Since you didn't listen to anything I had to say for the last 44 minutes.
I thought we had already talked about that.
We might have talked about it, but what's your theory?
Do
you have a theory?
He's a lucky fella. Yes.
Oh, some of these are great. Bee's having a nap. Oh my God, Bee. For the win, Carrie Davis says blah, 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 blah. Oh, Carrie, you rock. You absolutely rock.
Maybe the doors should be switched.
Oh, oh my goodness. That is some good stuff right there. I don't care who you are. That was funny. Carrie Davis for the win. Yeah, LJC says B is bored with it all. You know.
Oh my God.
We love you too. This is a great community. You know, I get comments all the time about how it's the most interactive live because we talk all the time and joke back and forth. And that's because of you guys, you know, but that's awesome. Gary Davis, that's some good stuff right there. Yeah. Farm Ranch Homestead says it wasn't a lone wolf. I would agree. You mean quit asking you questions for tonight? But the sniper behind Trump on the roof took a shot towards the shooter before Trump went down. There was a video showing the sniper's rifle recoil before Trump ducked. That would be interesting. I have not seen that, but that would be interesting. Of a dead kid with a weapon about 10 feet or more away from the body.
There's a pic.
Yeah, of a dead kid with a weapon about 10 feet or more away from the body. From which body? It was the butler with the fire poker in the library. I agree, Tulip.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carrie's getting a thumbs up. That was funny. Blah, 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 blah. Did you wait, Carrie, all night long to be able to get that blah, blah, blah back in there?
Yeah.
You probably, huh? Probably. That was
girl.
good stuff. Yeah. You like that?
Yeah.
I think we should do that on the bathroom doors.
On the men's?
No, on the girls.
Oh.
We should do it just like I showed the picture. It'd be funny. You know, she clearly don't think it'd be funny. Other news, what's going on? I found this one super cool. For those of you guys who have YouTube channels or businesses out there that get stickers done, check this out. Breaking news. The sticker company and app Sticker Mule is currently under a massive amount of backlash from liberals after sending this email to customers. His email states the hate for Trump and his supporters have gone too far. This email comes as a surprise to all since they have never been political before. Thousands of liberals are vowing never to purchase from them again. The email read, "Dear customer, Donald Trump was shot. I don't care what your political views are, but the hate for Trump and his supporters have gone too far. People are terrified to admit they support Trump. I've been scared myself. Americans shouldn't live in fear. I support Trump. Many at Sticker Mule do. Many at Sticker Mule also support Biden. The political hate needs to stop. Hopefully this email helps." So I like.
They don't want to do business with Sticker Mule.
The liberals are saying they don't because
some people
they showed some support. But I like this with Sticker Mule. I've done business with them before, but this makes me want to do business with them again.
Yeah, but he's saying some of them support him and some of them support the other. So what's the problem?
Oh, that's funny. Carrie says, "Hey, B, blink if you need us." You clearly needed them. I read an article about the lack of blood on the roof from an ER doctor. Yeah. I'd have yet to see a picture of what the roof like after they removed the body, but hey.
Do you really want to see
There's
it?
Flute Man. I'm late, but I'm here. I missed you guys. Happy Friday, everyone. Hey, we missed you too. I know what you're doing, though. You guys are working your tail off. Right? Okay, so Will Be Cool said originally, there's a pic of a dead kid with a weapon about 10 feet or more away from the body. And she's talking about the Crook's kid. So apparently there was a second body. I have not seen that picture. Looks like we have a new company to work with. Oh, I love that. That's right up my alley. I give Susie a lot of information about tractors, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Tractors. That's a sore topic around my house, I think. No?
What's wrong with tractor topic?
You not driving your tractor ever?
I drive it just fine.
Let me see here. Chris Martinson posted a great analysis of the shots audio on Peak Prosperity channel. I really, really like Peak Prosperity. I listen to them pretty regularly. And welcome in, Freestead. I'm sure you've been here a while, but I haven't said it yet, so welcome in. Let me see. Started Oak says life done free. If you have a Twitter account, which I do, check out Terry Saruga. I can do that. Pretty cool. What else is going on in the world?
You have a Twitter account?
I do. I have all kinds of accounts. I don't really post much on any of the other ones. Really, it's just Facebook and YouTube, just because I just don't have time. Did you guys read that Galvin Newsom signed AB 1955 today, which bans schools from making rules requiring parental notification if a child identifies as transgender? So basically, the school is the parent, and if the child wants to identify as something other than its birth sex, in California, the schools are not allowed to tell the parents.
They're not allowed to?
They're not allowed to.
And bans them.
Yep. It bans schools from making rules requiring parental notification. And while they were at it, the California Planned Parenthood head and Biden delegate promoter is pushing for Harris as president, and who I will be I do believe will be the nominee for the Democratic Party. Yep. Banquet says, got to go feed. Yeah, I know that deal. Let me see here. They're growing the children, and they said they were going to come after our children. Yeah, they're only going to come after them if we allow it, guys. You can stop it, right? He's definitely one of Satan's minions. Disgusting. Yep. Starla says she just emailed me. Okay, cool. When I get done off here, I will take a quick shower, and we crawl in bed. I'll go start going through those emails. The worst California bill is the one that lessens the penalty if someone's caught selling children for sex. How incredible that! They should be executed. Yep, she has to be the nominee unless they talk Kennedy into it. Yeah, but I think there's some rules about the money that's already been raised and who can access it, and all of those kind of things that make it easy to pick Camille. Sure. Yeah, Camille Harris. And I don't think Harris is hard to beat. I don't think Biden's hard to beat, but the Democratic machine is hard to beat. So I don't think the candidate matters all that much. I think it's what better plays into the hands of the machine, at least in my opinion. But I think let's see what else we got. Oh, these were interesting. There's some more interesting things. This is the good news. This is where the good news starts. Oh yeah, there you go. That's right. It says she can't transfer the delegates or the money. Yeah. Yeah. That's the way I understood it as well. Yeah, Gregory says obedient son at home, confused daughter at school. Sad. Yeah. Yeah, guys, here's the thing. We shouldn't be teaching sex to young kids of any kind, whether it's heterosexual, homosexual. We shouldn't be introducing them to any of those things as they're little. Let them be kids. All this crap from Newsom in California. If he is voted to be Biden's replacement, we will be what will be pushed throughout the country. It's already what's going to be pushed throughout the country, bud. All right. So Putin, let's talk about Putin a little bit. So Putin said the Rothschild cabal have infiltrated your government, your media, your banking institutions. They are no longer content with committing atrocities in the Middle East. They are now doing it on their own soil to complete their plan for a one world government, one world army, complete with a world central bank of Vladimir Putin. Now, this was a quote back in 2017. And then recently he came out, I think this might have been earlier too. He also said that the West is controlled by satanic pedophiles. Peter Sweden was reporting that if this is coming from Yuval Noah Harari, from the World Economic Forum, and he's the advisor to Charles Schwab. But he said if Trump becomes president again, it will be the end to the global order. How wonderful would that be? That money is pocket change for the donors. Might be. Indiana, you might have a point, but I mean, they are losing in a money raising, case bad. So Biden handlers are going to cast her adrift. And I've got some other friends, Mike, that have said those things to me. But my bet's still Harris. But we'll see, right? And I'll be happy to come on. I will come on live, Mike, and I'll say Mike was right. So, Mike, who's your pick? Why don't you tell me that? Let's do a little game.
Who he thinks?
Yeah, who's the Democratic nominee? And I'm saying Harris. What say you?
Can you reach that light?
Yeah. Like that?
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah.
You guys like that better? It's getting dark here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, All American Prepper says, I hate to say it, but I agree with Putin. Yeah, well, Putin's really not so wrong, right? That's the best reason I've ever heard for voting for Trump yet. Yeah. I don't think that's all bad either. Did you guys see that Mount Etna was erupting? Did you see that?
No, where's it at?
Italy. All American Prepper says Big Mike. Yeah, I want to see what Indiana Mike says, and then we'll get back on the live. But once we know,
so it's really erupting, or it's just a little little. Oh, that's not it, is it? Wow.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Holy cow!
I think it's beautiful.
That looks like a face.
Yeah, Starla thinks it's going to be Harris and Shapiro. Yeah. Okay, Mike says Whitmer or Newsom. I'll bet you a squash. Okay, but you can only pick one, right? Because I could list 47 people that maybe it would be. So which one is it? I'll take Harris. You pick one. Okay, LJC says Newsom. Starla says Newsom. Bashirs and Shapiro are being vetted to run with Camille. Yeah, I'm not talking about the vice president. I'm talking about the president. I agree with Starla. They need Penn. Alan says B. I can rescue you for a cookie sheet of your cinnamon rolls. Yep. Yeah. Carrie says I think a black swan event with no elections. Yeah, I'm actually worried about that. It's sad that Russian leader has a better grasp on reality than most of our own leaders. Okay, Jane says Harris. All right, here we go. Indiana Mike says Newsom. Okay, so we'll get back on here after we know, and I'll either tell Mike I'm not worthy, or he'll have to say the same thing. It will be the loser. I saw a video from somewhere in Europe that was a Trump rally begging the U.S. to get Trump back in office to save the world. It's going to be Shapiro, says Starla. Who do you think Epstein will vote for? Yeah, Kamala. Wonder if they have any insurance there. Not for that. The insurance, 99% of insurances will not cover what they consider acts of God. Michelle Obama is the pick. Big Mike, which would be Michelle. They're going to bring in Snoop Dogg. You got to be high to vote blue again. Yeah, they have over 3 months to pull something. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, we'll just put that one back up there. Yeah, Mount Etna is always throwing a fit. I've seen it in person a few times, and it's amazing. Yeah, and I knew that it had gone off a lot, but these seem to be pretty tall and quite a bit. I just thought they were beautiful, so I thought I would. I just thought I'd put them in. Hakeem Jeffrey and Willie's Camel Toe. That's who's going to be. Yeah. I think. What do I got left? Oh, yeah, this was a really interesting slide I found. Check this out. Tomato-made edible COVID-19 vaccine. The Tomavac introduced neutralizing IgGs in the blood sera of mice and humans. Plant-based edible vaccines can provide 2-layered protection against severe acute respiratory syndrome, or COVID, outweigh the currently used parental types of vaccines, which predominantly cause a systematic immune response. Here we engineered a transgenic tomato genotype that stably synthesizes in antigenic S1 protein of the SARS-CoV-2. Pretty crazy, huh? We've heard this was coming, right? But apparently they're going to vaccine us with tomatoes.
Apparently you can't eat anything that you didn't grow.
Yeah. Starlet says Michelle Obama. Nope, she don't want it. I don't think it'll be Michelle. I think it'll be Harris. But we're going to get back on here. We're going to talk about this again. And if Snoop Dogg wins,
right,
we're going to have to do something special. If Snoop Dogg wins, I'll send a T-shirt to everybody in the live. And we'll put a little flute on it somewhere for Flute Man, because he's a famous rapper. I don't know if you guys know that, but he's very, very famous.
And the flute will have like smoke coming off of it for like Snoop Dogg.
Yeah. He not growing my own. Yeah. I hope everybody is. Glad I know my own tomatoes. Yep. These people are mad. They are absolutely mad. Hey, Grateful Hearts, how are you? Gruesome Newsome. Yep. Absolutely insane. Just insane. I don't even know how you put it all together. I think if you follow the money trail, it says that Harris will be the nominee. I think if you follow the money trail, many people knew about the assassination attempt prior to it because they tried to profit from it. And if it wasn't for a split-second turn, Donald Trump would be dead today, which is, my opinion, was part of the plan. And all you got to do is track that money down. You know, you look at the big outages that were going on. 1 billion computers were infected. And who owns the company? BlackRock, Vanguard, right? Who owns all of them? Who profits from when all those companies go down? You know, who profits? Who makes money in all of these crazy things? And it all points back to 3 companies most of the time, you know, which is, you know, just
That's
those
so
3.
Crap.
It's so crap. I thought you said the good news was next. Yeah, I always say that, Big B. I want to see a Trump-Kamala debate. The debate is what it is because it was what it was. Yeah.
Because it was what it was.
What the future can be, unburdened by what it was. LG says, hey, we didn't talk about J.D. Vance yet. We did not. And, you know, obviously J.D. Vance was Trump's vice president pick, but I'm doing some research on him. And so I want to get all my information together before I pipe up and tell you what I think. But we will have a conversation about it, but I was not prepared to do it today. Had I had 4 or 5 hours to build the live tonight, I probably would have, but we boomed trusses for the community building. So that's what I got. Flute Dog for president, making flutes great again. Yep. Amen. With Vice President MC Sausage in the house. Freestater says Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Surprise. That's right. 100%. MC Sausage for VP.
For VP.
Yeah. Let me see here. I don't see Trump talking about a yellow bus during a debate. Nope. But Kamala was. She will stun us. Right? With the dreams of the future unburdened by the past.
And everybody likes buses.
Absolutely crazy.
Our son liked buses.
The new ticket, Kamala and Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh, could you imagine?
I can't imagine Kamala.
Gosh.
Yeah, I could say something really mean right here, but I just won't.
It'd be like, oh my gosh, I don't know.
Wasn't there a French saying, let them eat cake? There was. And that's a great saying. Yep, they play dirty. We're going to have to play dirty. Fight fire with fire. Night all, need to go check my birds. Yep, we're getting out of here too. What was John F. Kennedy Jr.'s bus doing outside the RNC? Well, I think there's a deal being struck right now, actually. I think that President Trump is going to offer John F. Kennedy Jr. a place on his cabinet. You heard it here.
That Trump is?
Mm-hmm. I do. Only pair worse would be Joe Behar and Whoopi. Yeah, no doubt, huh?
Joy.
No doubt. All right, it's 2 hours. Let's get out of here. What do you want to talk about? Well, first of all, did you hear anything I said tonight?
What?
Do you have anything to say tonight before we leave?
Happy Friday.
Since that you weren't paying attention to it anyway?
I don't know.
What do you got to say?
Eat your squash. No. I was going to talk about choosing who you depend upon.
Oh, that's a good topic.
choosing who you are dependent upon.
That's good.
Because, you know, we had to go to the dump and we had to pay somebody to take our trash for us. So if we could do better at that, then that would help,
No, but isn't it? And I
help
think
remove a little bit more.
yeah, this is a
stroke.
mow engineer thing. Is that we're not going to be 100% free. We have to depend on somebody. You're going to have to depend on some things. The question is, what are you going to depend upon?
Right. You have to pick who you
got to pick who you're dependent upon. Right. And in my opinion, I want to be dependent on my community.
Ooh,
I want to be dependent on those people to help us get through. We'll get through collectively versus depending upon the system somewhere. And, you know, this again gets back to that whole yoke up thing, right? And why we go build community and why we do that. It's so that we have someone to lean on. Just today, you guys, you know, I am fully capable of building a house by myself. I've done it many times in my life. But 47 foot long trusses, it's just hard to move by yourself.
Right.
But people showed up to help me, and it was fine. We laughed and joked and had fun all day long. That's where I'm going to put my dependency in, and is in those people instead of in the system. And so I think to you know, B's point, you know, go choose who you're dependent on. Make sure you're not leaving all your money in the bank. Take some stuff out, but be able to have some options in case stuff happens around us. And you know what? Don't believe anything you hear, including here, right? Because the information that I get is on the same news place that everybody else gets, and who knows if it's AI and who knows what does what. So, you know, try to stay objective and you know, try to, you know, do your best to understand it. But the truth is, I don't understand it. And, you know, we just keep fighting along the way. But I love your point. Choose your dependency. I think that's a great way to lead the live tonight. So hold line.
Don't give an inch.
Tag and be out. Choose your dependency. See you guys.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.